Well, tomorrow's a big game. Yes. Why is it a big game? Because it's the final. Of last year. Yeah, so it's that final. They're playing that in Chennai. It's Delhi v Mumbai. Last year's final that is being played. And that's the first game that Delhi is playing in Chennai, which is very interesting because Joy, it's not that kind of pitch. This is not the pitch that they would pick.
No, it's not. But one thing I'll say in their favor, this is the kind of pitch that Firozshah Kotla normally gives them.
And they don't want that one either.
They don't want that one either. But they're willy-nilly, they're forced to play on that 7 times a year. Okay. The one thing they'll tell themselves is, firstly, they'll go to the dressing room and they'll take off all the mothballs for Amit Mishra. And say, come. Because, this kind of pitch and Amit Mishra, if Akshar is by any chance fit, Akshar again would, be somebody that they'll be looking at. Yeah. They'd definitely be looking at a lot more spin options out here. The other thing is that, they were looking at fast like Lukman Meriwala, Avesh Khan in Chennai, where it needs a bit more guile. The track is much slower. It needs a bit more guile. I'm wondering if if his niggle is solved, and I'm not sure there was a niggle ever to start with, you not look at Ishant Sharma.
There's also the thing. Akshar he's not even part of the squad now because they've got a short-term replacement for him. So I don't even think he's traveling with the team. Joshi is the one who's come in. Anirudh Joshi has come in as a short-term replacement for him. And we have Shams Mulani who's come in as a who's he coming as a replacement for? He's also he's coming for Shreyas Iyer. He's coming for Shreyas Iyer. So he's there as well. Michael, my question to you is that we know the Chennai surface, right? If Andrik Nokia is available tomorrow, are you tempted then to go Nokia, Rabada, Vokes because that's quality, right? And then your Indian bowlers are just all spinners. You've got Amit Mishra, you've got Ashwin. Do you have anybody else you can throw in as an Indian spinner?
Lalit Yadav is an off spinner as well, in that sense.
Yeah, I just look at R. Ashwin. It's been difficult for him at the Wankhede because the ball's not been spinning. For Delhi to compete, I think R. Ashwin's going to have to start to produce the magic, and he will do because the pitches will allow him to just get that little bit more purchase. But, these teams have been very consistent in selection. Yeah, they'll go and have a look at the surface, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if they go with the same team.
Yeah, Steve Smith still plays for you?
Well, I can't see how you give him one game and then manoeuvre him out the side.
Yeah. They did that to Rahane. So
I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I never like to see that, and I know it was wrong on Rahane, but you've got to give Steve Smith 2 or 3 games just to try and find his feet. Someone like Stoinis, he might be able to bowl a little bit more and get away with it more on that kind of wicket with his cut. So they've got plenty of options.
Yeah, Joy, what are you doing? If Nokia is indeed available, are you playing him then on this? Because remember one thing that Vokes has done well, and then Vokes also gives you a very handy option with the bat.
No, I'm not playing Nokia at this stage. I would stay with Steve Smith. I'd stay with that little bit of extra stability in my batting. Steve Smith's then Stoinis gives me a little bit more. I would definitely look at Amit Mishra because I think he's an option. This kind of wicket, Amit Mishra is a definite option. He's somebody they'll have to look at. They're not a bad side because, if you remember, this Delhi team was constructed to play in Delhi.
Yeah.
Whatever's happened, they've been moved around. So they don't like playing there because I think they're too good a side to play on a rubbish surface like the Firozshah Kotla. But I think they have the kind of ammunition to play on pitches like this.
Yeah. And also the reason why you need, whether they go with Steve Smith or Rahane, the reason why you need a player like that is number 3 is, don't look any further than Hyderabad needing Kane Williamson, right? When they've played on this surface. Tricky chases, you need a player with that kind of experience who can just guide the chase, right? Guide the chase and let people like Shikhar Dhawan, Prithvi, Rishabh Pant, play the kind of Stoinis, play the kind of game that they play. And Steve Smith brings that to the team, Michael.
Yeah, one player striking at about 125, 130 on this kind of surface doesn't really hurt you because as long as you've got 2 or 3 firecrackers around, they'll be absolutely fine. I just think it's a difficult one for Delhi because Mumbai have been playing on the surface. They know exactly how to play on it, the kind of shots, the pace that comes off the surface, where to bowl, the field sayings. So I do think it's a bit of an unfair advantage. So Delhi will certainly have to bring that A++ game to beat Mumbai tomorrow.
Let's have a look at Mumbai's team as well, and they're going to be going unchanged. And let's move on. No, I'm kidding. Let's let's have a look at their team and say, would you make any changes here?
I don't think I would. I honestly don't think I would. They're playing so well. I mean, they've got so many options. They could change pretty much 3 or 4, and it wouldn't make too much of a difference because the bench is so strong. But Rohit Sharma over the years in Mumbai, they've been consistent. So I would guess they'll go the same again.
Spin, Joy, perhaps a little more spin. I mean, they do have Jayant Yadav there as well. Will you go with a little more spin?
It's not that other than Shikhar and Rishabh, there aren't that many left-handers in the top 6. So I think that's the thing. Jayant Yadav comes in when they have three or more spinners, then they'll put in a guy like that. But otherwise, I don't see Jayant Yadav playing at this point in time. He's the only option that you could really look at. And Rahul Chahar has been bowling beautifully. So if Jayant Yadav comes in, he'll come in for a fast bowler. He's not going to replace Rahul Chahar. Rahul Chahar has been a guy who's got them out of so many messes this year that he's actually their go-to bowler. Bumrah is just about hitting form, but Chahar is the guy who's been consistent throughout.